Hi, my name is Isla Garcia and I interviewed 3 close friends who are currently enrolled at Texas Tech. I chose to investigate young adults who currently live in Lubbock and their overall experience. A majority of people who live in Lubbock are young adults due to it being known as a college city. This is a time where they decide where their future would take off and whether or not they would encourage other young adults to choose Texas Tech or Lubbock as a place to reside and possibly make a home for themselves.
Hi, my name is Avery Howe. I'm currently an architecture student at Texas Tech, and I'm originally from Pflugerville, Texas.
I'm Haley. I'm from Hobbs, New Mexico, and I am currently a public relations major.
Hello, my name is Nathan. I am from Lubbock, born and raised here, and my major is architecture design.
Honestly, I think there's better places to live. It's okay here, like it's manageable. I still enjoy it, but I think I could have the same experience, if not better, elsewhere.
I think it's a kind of a crowded town. I think it can get definitely flooded whenever it rains. It's kind of peaceful.
Throughout living here, I didn't really think nothing about it. I know there's a lot of people that bigger cities and all that, but I believe it's smaller places, somewhere you just settle and live the rest of your life.
I had to force myself to change since I went from living at home to moving 7 hours away, living completely dependent on myself. My sleep schedule changed, my eating habits changed, but I had to change most is I used to go out a lot since Austin was like 30 minutes away and there was something to do everywhere, and now here I think there's a lot less to do, which could be a good thing in the end.
Just kind of adapted to the different people here, how everyone's kind of more a little uptight, no one really knows each other, they're not all connected and everything, but I think my schedule has more been like having time for school and classes still.
I both like and dislike that it's a small town. I think things that I like is that, it's quiet here. Like this place itself, Lubbock itself, it does remind me a lot of my hometown. I feel like they resemble each other a lot. But what I dislike though is how a city is or anything. Once you drive like 15 minutes out, there's nothing but wind turbines and land. And I think if there was something else, a newer, a city or something that I could like go to and it was 40 minutes away, I think that would improve my time here, as well as, being far from home, being away from my friends and family and everything.
Oh, some places that I've liked going here is Dairy Queen. I don't have that in Hobbs, so I like Dairy Queen and Canes, but I don't like going to heavy trafficked places.
What I would say is like the surroundings, like the plains, like just it's really flat. Definitely like the sunsets and all that. There's nothing really to do, but I believe that like it just makes you more creative as a person. One thing I definitely started getting into again is fishing. Also, I like to run around the Masons Park, just because like nobody's really around there. I like to go jogging with my friends. It's kind of a smaller town compared to bigger cities, so I know the streets a lot more, and I can just not really worry about GPS or anything like that too.
Another article written by Joey Washburn titled "Is Lubbock Really That Boring?" on a website called Odyssey Online. He said, "I can't say it's an exciting place to be because it's not. It's simple. Life is simple and straightforward, and so is being in Lubbock. People in Lubbock make their own fun. And despite being in West Texas, there are a lot of sharp, well-educated, and accredited people here. There's something to learn and something to gain by living in Lubbock, even if it's just for a couple of years."
I think it depends on the person. I think, if you're young, if you're in your 20s, 30s, or, not ready to settle down, kind of just, like looking for somewhere to live, I don't think I would recommend it. I think there are better places to live with more opportunities elsewhere that's not here. But I do think, like, if you're older, ready to settle, ready to, retire, and you're okay with a homebody, like you're okay with staying at home most of the time, going out maybe every once in a while, not much to do, and you like that quiet lifestyle, I think this is a good place, then I would recommend it.
No. I think there's definitely some better places people could go to where you would definitely fit in more. I think it's overcrowded, the base pay sucks. I think you could literally go anywhere else and have more fun.
An article written by Carson Sperry titled 12 Pros and Cons of Living in Lubbock, Texas on a website called The Rent said, "Lubbock is a city with a unique charm, drawing people from all over with its appealing small town hospitality and big city conveniences. Whether you're a student, a professional, or someone seeking a slower pace, living in Lubbock comes with a ton of benefits.
My parents were the ones who convinced me to come here. I was a little reluctant. I had initially wanted to go to community college, but they were the ones who convinced me to go here. They really liked tech and the school itself, so they loved it here, and they were the reason that I did end up moving here.
My family was very proud of me for going to Texas Tech. They were like, it's a top-rated school. The main reason I came here was because this is one of like what my Nana really wanted me to do before she passed away.
I decided to stay in Lubbock because it's inexpensive compared to like going to another school that requires like $30,000 tuition and dorms and all that. And so I just wanted to pay tuition. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. But I would say that because I'm a big family guy, so family was a big thing. So I just didn't want to depart from them.
I didn't start researching it until I had applied, and I think the research itself doesn't help as much just because, you know, it's a good rep as a school itself, but as a city, the rep isn't as good.
No, because I kind of already knew the vibe, how the kind of town was, because I only live a little bit away.
I think it's gotten less, but I think it's declined since I moved here, but I don't blame that on, you know, the city itself. I think if my friends were, you know, friends that I've had for years are here, you know, my family lived here, I think I would be a lot more happier. That's not the city's fault. That's more just my location.
Honestly, I think my mental health has gone down a little bit, but it definitely made an uprise whenever I made a good group of friends.
Freshman year or undergrad. So far, it's been rough academically, to the point where I'm not really worried about anything else. I'm just straight academics. But I fell in love with it, so yeah. I've been around my friends a lot, and we departed high school. So I would say my like personality changed and all that sort of stuff. I learned a lot about myself around tech camp.
I honestly regret coming. I think I would have been happier if I had, you know, gone to community college, decided what I wanted to do with my life, what I wanted to do major-wise and, you know, school-wise and everything, rather than just letting, you know, my parents make that decision for me. But still, you know, I survived. I'm fine here. Like, I'll live.
Some regrets I have is definitely moving away from all my friends and kind of the connections I have at home, as well as not really having a big change of scenery, since this was basically like a day trip for me, but now I live here.
One of them is what I heard is like if you tend to stay in like a small town, it limits your growth as a person. And so previously I wanted to go to UT, but I never applied. I now live with that regret of not applying to UT, but
not now for sure. I don't think I would live here. You know, I might consider it like through retirement, you know, when I'm 50 or 60 years old. That's when I think I would, you know, consider it and everything. But for right now, I think I would rather, you know, travel, see other cities, and, you know, maybe move somewhere that's closer to a city.
No, mainly just because of the base pay, but I would come definitely back because I like the dancing, I like the country part of it. It's just, it can get a little hatred here.
I would probably move to Austin. I went there for a program trip, and it was really nice. I'd probably move there. Or if not, if I met like my ideal girl here, I'd probably stay in Lubbock. Probably like get a ranch or something. Yeah.
Overall, everyone has their own opinion about Lubbock, Texas, and whether or not it would be a good place to continue your future or make a home for yourself. It depends on your lifestyle and how you want to live. But it's up to you to choose whether or not you would want to continue life here.
Haley Randall, I forgot exactly right there. Restart that.
I regret coming. Sorry, that's not.
I would say I always been in the party place, and scratch that.
What things you like and dislike about Lubbock? Are there places you've enjoyed since you've been here?
What's the question?
What's the question?